Today's movie is Gasoline Alley. I could put out a proper review for this, or I could just let the star review it for me.
So stupid.
Gasoline Alley is the story of Devin Sawa, who owns a tattoo parlor and is accused of a triple homicide by a couple of detectives played by Luke Wilson and Bruce. He doesn't have much faith in the justice system, so he decides to prove his innocence and find out who the bad guys are and take them down himself. Will Devin find the murderers and tattoo them to death? Or will the constant cigarettes kill him first? Will Luke Wilson be bailed out by Wes Anderson before he gets too sucked into the black hole of VOD action movies like so many before him? Will Bruce Willis ever wake up from his coma? Come back, Bruce. Don't go into the light. Wake up. Wake up. So I guess you could classify this one as a neo-film noir. But this is definitely not so much the big sleep as it is the big snooze. Sawa does the film noir thing and walks around and asks people questions and slowly pieces together the story. The problem is though, Sawa is kinda stupid, and I was able to figure out who the criminal mastermind was right away due to what I call the blood work principle. Let me explain. Blood Work is a 2002 Clint Eastwood movie that is actually very similar to this film. Clint is on the trail of a serial killer and goes around gathering clues as to the person's identity. Meanwhile, Jeff Daniels is in the film and he does nothing. He sits on his boat and drinks beer and goofs off. Now obviously Jeff Daniels turns out to be the killer because you don't hire an expensive actor like him and have him do nothing. The blood work principle therefore states that in any film that features both a crime mystery and an expensive actor with nothing to do, the expensive actor will turn out to be the bad guy. It is incredibly apparent who the villain is here. Why do you have a pair of detectives in this film when you could have written out one? Luke Wilson does all the talking and Bruce Willis stands around silently. What's even the point of casting him? Could he be this movie's Jeff Daniels? It all ends predictably in horrible violence as Sawa enacts some brutal vigilante justice all on his own for no reason. At this point, he has Luke Wilson and the entire LAPD on his side, and they could have easily handled it themselves. But I guess that wasn't exciting enough. He had to do it all on his own. Sawa and Wilson are trying hard to give good performances, and Bruce Willis was barely better than a cardboard cutout of himself would have been, and he was only in the film for about 10 minutes. I guess the nicest thing I could say about this was that it was coherent. It made sense most of the time and flowed like a movie should, but that's like putting potty trained on my resume. It should have been a given. 3 out of 10.